Oh, yeah. Yeah. There was a hot mic there for a minute. Good Tuesday morning. Not as cold as it was yesterday at this time, but it's so cold that Key West is looking closer and closer and closer every day. We're promised a few days of warm temperatures. Take advantage of them, but don't get used to them. Winter is with us officially for another 6 weeks before the official arrival of spring. I'm Rayford Brown, and this is live and local Real Talk. We have a returning stranger who was lost, but now he's found.
I was lost.
Good morning. I am the real Chris Marks.
Well, let's do it again. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm the real Chris Marks.
Yeah.
I love how you did that yesterday.
What's that? Oh,
I'm not Chris Marks.
I'm not. I'm still not Chris Mark.
Oh, good morning. I'm Lee Barrels. I saw you getting ready to go to something else.
Not. I was just looking around to see if you were still with us.
He's gonna
What was that show?
Again.
What was that
Yesterday,
show?
I had to climb the gate to get in.
Well, I heard that on my way to the doctor. But, and you're right. You probably did good not to do that.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea not to do that. If the locks be locked, don't come a knocking because you might get into trouble.
Can I come in?
Just call on the radio. I got up.
I did. I was like,
I was busy. I was kind of busy. On this date, I'm going to get going first. On this
Okay.
date in history, the year was 2004. A precious little bundle of joy forth into this family. She instantly stole the hearts of her parents, a herd of grandparents, and a number of family friends all gathered at the hospital here in Jacksonville, waiting for Allison Claire Thompson
ooh,
to enter our world.
you never do middle names.
From Robbie, or as you named her a few months later, as you spoke your first word, Abby. And
Abby.
from me, happy birthday, Allison.
Happy birthday, Allie.
Happy birthday to
Yeah, everybody calls her Allie but me. I just never could get into that.
She's an alley
Yeah.
cat.
What do you call her? Seriously,
Allison.
Allison?
Allison. That's her name, is Allison. Allison.
Happy birthday to you. I hope your day's wonderful.
I would sing, but I don't.
Happy birthday.
Happy
you
birthday.
really find these microphones
Happy
very
birthday.
precious, and if I sing, I have to buy a new one.
Happy birthday.
Hey, everybody turn around and wave at Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Who's Jim?
Jim Jarman. He's
Jim
like,
Jarman.
good morning in big letters. So I wanted to make sure he got our good morning back.
Cool.
You got that right.
That's right. Good morning.
We're going to do weather here in a few minutes, but I just, Lee walked into the door this morning. I was talking to a guy because I recognized his
Mayan.
accent as I was tuning across the dial this morning, getting some weather up north. And I just had to call him. And he's in a place called Jamaica Mon.
Jamaica
He
Mon.
was in Montego Bay, Mo Bay as they call it down there. Mo Bay, Les Bay, whatever Bay. But I spent a lot of time right around the corner there. 50 miles and a hellacious bus ride from Montego Bay to Negril. Negril it was very laid back. The times I was there way back when, it was kind of discovered, not founded, but discovered by a bunch of hippies back in the 70s. It was laid back. They could do what they wanted to do, and no big deal, man. And a lot of that no big deal, man, was a lot of ganja.
Ganja.
Ganja to the left of
there was
you,
a whole
ganja
lot
to
of-
the right of you, and there was a ganja all over the place. Down
There was a
under.
whole lot of, hey, man, when I
Yeah.
came in the door this morning.
No. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
No problem, man.
Even Rayford was yaman and back. And
Well,
I'm like,
you gotta walk the walk, talk the talk. If you're gonna be talking to
Obviously.
some of these folks, it was 72 degrees there, folks.
72.
At 6:30 this morning, 72 glorious
It's going to be
degrees.
close to that today.
And my new friend, 6 Yankee 5 Echo Hotel, he's my new friend
In Jamaica, man.
in Jamaica, man.
Ah, man. No,
Jamaica,
no worries.
man.
In,
I used to have a guy down there. He used to check in. He passed away a few years ago, but he was a regular, and we talked all the time. Rooney was his name, but he was cool. We had constant chats. He was a great guy. Invited me down anytime I wanted to come back. He said, "Man, I got the place for you, man. I got a place."
no
The
worries.
food there, if you have not been to Jamaica, stay away from the hotel chains for food. Go into the communities, and they got Yeah, I know some people say it's dangerous. Not if you're in a group of people, two or more, you're generally fine. Don't go out in the middle of the night walking the beach. Why would you? You can do that here, but just go out and have a civil but a good time. Pick yourself a nice, safe place, but you don't have to live in an all-consuming resort where you have to do it on their schedule. It's like being on a boat, a tour ship.
Yeah.
Or something.
I learned one thing.
like
You
it.
don't go walk in the water, the shallow water there at nighttime barefoot. Uh-uh.
Why, in Jamaica?
No, on the beaches here, you talk about walking along the beaches here. Well, I imagine you could in Jamaica too. Let a crab take a hold of one of your toes. That happened to me. Look, I woke up everybody in North Topsail. It was
Yeah,
rough.
but over there is no worries, man.
No
No.
problem, man.
No worries, man.
No problem. No problem.
Right,
Let the
Mom.
ganja take care of everything, man.
Gotcha,
Would you
gotcha.
stop?
It was so funny. People up and down the hawkers on the beaches are up and down the beach trying to sell you this. Say beads were used to be a big deal, and the ladies come along. Hey, man, let me do cornrows in your hair, and let me explain something, ladies, gentlemen too, who want to partake of that. Jamaica is not that far from the equator. The equator puts a lot of stuff right down on you. It's the tropics, all right? And the tropic sun is different than the sun here. You walk from the airport you better have sunscreen on to make the run from your airplane to the airport. Otherwise, you're going to be sunburned. Now, imagine those with hair of y'all. You up there, you have cornrows done. You won't be able to touch the top of your head for a month.
It itches now. Anything I put on my
Oh.
head makes me itch. And
Oh,
these
no.
earphones make me.
Cornrows leave bare skin.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Lots of bare skin up there. Oh.
Ask Bo Derek.
Now, the other thing, ladies, especially ladies,
don't listen to him.
in Negril and in a lot of other tropical places like that, but especially in Negril, very laid back. I told you about the hippies discovering the place. Well, the hippies had what they call monokinis. That's just the bottom
In other
part
words,
of the back.
Yeah.
Use sunscreen.
You better get it in 55-gallon barrels. There's nothing funnier to me, having been there, than to watch the young women who come down and for the first time in their lives, there are parts of their anatomy that had never seen the sun before.
You've not seen any Hollywood award shows lately, have you?
And in an hour or an hour later, the couple of parts of their body are like red.
Yeah.
There's redder than red.
Imagine.
And it's looks painful.
Yeah.
And as they described it, without glee, it is painful. And one poor young lady was on her honeymoon.
Another area, just you were talking about that, is Antigua. I was in Antigua, and the locals there at the resort said, you go out at 8 o'clock, you get in, and this is
10 o'clock.
a.m. at 10 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Because after that,
From 10 till 2, anywhere you are, that's the peak burn time.
ooh, even if you're snorkeling,
Oh, yeah.
and you have a shirt on.
Oh, well, they penetrate shirts.
Oh, yeah.
And with a little water in it, it's magnified.
Yeah.
Snorkeling, I don't do because
Okay.
when I'm down 30 feet underwater or deeper, the sun doesn't bother me.
All right.
Talk about burn
Take your
buns.
skin.
Just those people are snorkeling with thongs on.
Burnt buns.
Okay, dokie. Lots going on, and we'll be talking about that. We'll get as much up to date as we can on the tragic
Tragedy.
lack of developments that we know about and the Guthrie case.
Right. Oh, my gosh.
So we'll be talking about that. But here on the local scene, tragic news this morning. Got to
Tragic.
talk to you about. We told you a little bit about a tragic mishap yesterday that happened Sunday afternoon in the Richlands area. The full details were not available yesterday morning for public release. And showing support for the grieving families, we chose not to say any more than the very basics yesterday. And today we're going to
Absolutely.
kind of keep it at that. What we have learned is that 2 7-year-old boys friends
I think they
We're
were
playing-
brothers.
huh?
I think they were brothers.
were playing at a frozen pond. They're both 7 years old.
They may have been twins, but the word is they were brothers.
I'm not going by socialist media. We're playing at a frozen pond. Both kids ended up in the water and were not able to get out on their own. The water with the pond was partially frozen over. It's not thick ice out there at this time.
They at our meeting last night, their parents, their father was it was a member of our Knights of Columbus at Infinite Prague, and so we got a report last night. A little more detail. It doesn't need to go public, but it was very sad.
Yeah, very.
Apparently,
Kids
an
being
older
kids.
brother went in and got them. And,
Right.
was pulling the last kid out of the water when the emergency responders arrived. Obviously, immediate life-saving efforts were begun, and they did everything, including using the defibs,
Yes.
and transported them directly to the water's cold. And the today's protocol is do everything you can right away, but continue doing it
Absolutely.
because you do not know.
Absolutely.
There are cases out there of people being revived after as much as 45 minutes or
Right.
so in the water. That does happen in very cold water.
Yes, it
It
does.
just depends upon what else is going on. So anyway, unfortunately,
tragic.
all the efforts to revive them were unsuccessful. Please keep the families of these youngsters in your thoughts and prayers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know when they went to school.
Ryan, you're in our prayers.
Okay. The deadline, the one that we know both of them, there were 2 or 3 or 4 deadlines. They expired last week, except for one that expired last night, and I still don't know the real time. About 9 p.m. our time, I think, to pay the money to get Ms. Guthrie released. I don't know, but we have not heard anything definitive. Was it paid or not? Samantha Guthrie. She's a NBC co-host of the Today Show, but she's been kind of like the upfront person for the family. But she said they pleaded, they put out more yesterday. Yes, we have the money. We will pay you. We will pay you. We will pay you. We will pay you. But we don't know what other conversations have been occurring. We don't know. But we don't know of any reports that are coming in that anything has happened. The FBI last night said they've had no other information about any more communications
That's what they're saying.
that we can release.
Right.
Coming in this morning thinking about that, because there was another news report on the way in about Savannah saying, just tell us. When they first broke it, didn't they say she had to have heart medicine within 24 hours?
Yeah, she's
Well,
she's 84 years of age. She has a pacemaker and she's got hypertension. So BP drugs for your heart. And I'm sure she probably takes other medications.
Right.
And she has to take some type of medication for her joints. She has a lot of pain.
Mm.
So I was thinking about that. And because you've been through it as well as I and Rayford, our parents, when they got to that point in their life that they were actually put on hospice, and usually a couple weeks before, and a hospice worker and a doctor can tell you exactly almost to the day how many days they have left, and they generally will take them off stop all medication. There's no sense giving them any more medication, and usually within a week to 2 weeks, that's when the body adjusts to not having any medication and it slows down tremendously. So that's what worries me for her. The whole thing is so bizarre. And I saw a guy that's he's a retired FBI negotiator, whatever, was on television last night. He was saying that he thinks that somebody went in there to burglarize, and when they realized she was home, they changed their mind and just took her. I don't see that. I don't see that. It just does not make sense to me.
No.
You know,
Definitely
let's
makes
take her instead, an 84-year-old lady that can barely walk past 50 feet without assistance, and leave her medication and everything, her purse behind.
Here would be the questions that I would ask if he had that thought process. First of all, but I need to ask you questions. Do you think perhaps that they were in there waiting when she got home? Why would they go in there? Or she got home at 9:30. Did her family that dropped her off? Did they go in there with her?
Evidently, no.
I don't know that. Do we know that?
No.
We don't know that.
We don't even know that. We don't. There was questions yesterday about who in the family actually dropped her off.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. And then there's the other stuff that's popped up that, well, she really wasn't going to church on Sunday.
She was watching it online. She had been. That's what they
She
said.
was going to be with somebody else to watch it online
Mm-hmm.
because her church is in New York.
So much craziness coming out.
That's what they said.
But you know what gets me
You want me to give you another story? There's plenty of them out there. We can go into days.
if there was a strange person that she didn't know and they had decided to break into the house or whatever, or go in there and rob, I don't see where they would spend 41 minutes in the house.
How about if they were there at 9:30? How about if the house was dark?
Oh yeah, pitch
Earlier
black.
than that. When was the ring doorbell removed?
It was.
Do we know what time that went off?
I don't remember what time it
I don't
was.
think you know that.
No, they said they know that.
Some reason 9:45 rings a bell.
That
No
was
pun
when she
intended,
was
but-
probably brought home.
Okay. Then the pool camera. That
The other
Yeah.
camera that they didn't get, they
Yeah.
apparently supposedly disabled other cameras.
yeah.
1:47 a.m. is when the doorbell cam was disconnected.
Okay. So they came into the house after midnight.
Mm-hmm.
You would assume, any normal crook would assume that somebody is at home at 1:00 in the morning, asleep.
At that age, yeah.
Yes.
That's what you would assume.
Mhm.
So what went wrong?
I have my
They had gone to
opinions.
all
but-
of the efforts to disable cameras, right? Why did they need to disable the doorbell camera? It had already triggered, right? It would have triggered immediately.
Yeah.
Now, getting rid of it may have gotten rid of other stuff. If she had a subscription, they wouldn't have gotten rid of that. So either they knew she had no subscription, or she wasn't paying for the service to record everything, or
Yeah, I found
they knew.
it makes me wonder how when people have houses and they seclude themselves on purpose.
Oh, well, yeah, that was.
I mean,
that
she
we
was
went to
well.
the aerial photos of that
Yeah.
place. It was nice. I don't want to be,
No.
in an area where I'm living within 10 feet of my neighbor.
No, but they had all that foliage and trees and
Trees and
things in the front of the house, so it's way off back. You can't see anything. And it reminded me of the basketball coach, NBA coach. He came home from a basketball game on the West Coast, came on the East Coast. They couldn't put his fire out because he was behind cement. Thing. A neighbor of yours down the road, we all know who was, secluded. Basically, you couldn't get through his wooden or his stone gates.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure that sometimes that's not more dangerous than just being gated.
His was for a purpose because he had people protesting at his place of business.
Yeah.
Peaceful protest blocking the entrance to his place. They had to be forcibly removed by the police several times, encouraged to disband, move away.
I know I worked security out there at the medical facility when he had it.
And then they
During all
were
that.
coming out to his house on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm. We did
Well, you know
that
what
too.
stopped that? They didn't know he had a sprinkler system put in outside that fence, and he turned it on Christmas Eve.
I could tell them that now it's too late, but I could tell them what else would have stopped them.
No one.
Because I made a visit at that house working at the cable company just to retrieve some equipment that they asked to have retrieved, but forgot to tell the maid that someone was coming. He had 2 Doberman pinchers.
That'll do.
Yeah, dude. Mm-hmm.
Yaman.
Unless they were like my neighbor's Doberman from years ago. You
Excuse
go
me.
boo, runs around behind the house and hides on the back porch.
No, these 2 decided
They
to
were aggressive.
they pinned me up against their shed.
And you said, Yes, nice doggy, nice
I
doggy.
just kept trying to get the maid's attention without drawing the dog's attention too much.
It's like you carry hot dogs with you for a case like that, and you just throw bites of it further and further and further away.
I called the office and told my manager help.
I'm just curious as to whether anyone has been given lie detector test. Not that they can use them in court, but
Well,
still.
at this point in time, what would it even tell you?
Well, if you've got one member of the family that it's obvious that they're not telling the truth, it might be a starting point, which I'm sure the investigators have already gone over all that. But I think there's a whole bunch that we don't know. And I think that the FBI has been working hard on this. And I think that some of these appearances of Savannah and her siblings doing Instagram lives, I think that was coordinated by the FBI. I think yesterday that she got on there and said, please, somebody had to have seen something somewhere, even if it's far away. If you saw anything, please let us know. And I think they realized yesterday afternoon that whole ransom thing was a hoax. I don't know. There's plenty of people watching Bitcoin last night, watching the transfers.
Do you suspect the son-in-law? That's just my guess.
I'm just saying that I just.
Where were you?
Have
I mean, I
questions.
can tell you who I suspect.
Who?
Everybody.
I just.
Not me.
I think it
Everybody
was.
that doesn't have a guaranteed proof of where they were at that time.
I just think it was
That's
somebody
that's
who
what
knew
you do.
her.
You eliminate people.
I think it's somebody who knew her, that knew the area, that knew the surroundings, that knew, because I can't believe
Well,
people were last
first,
night commenting.
Why her?
Exactly.
If it's somebody who knew her, why?
Oh,
her?
because Savannah was rich. Why not kidnap Savannah? Why her mother? I mean,
No.
seriously? I mean, the whole thing is, it'll eventually, the good guys will win, the bad guys will lose, and we will know.
Well, she could be the one losing.
Well, I'm afraid with her health and her age.
All right, let's go back to this med stuff. Everybody harping about. I can do without. I've got.
I asked him if he would turn the heat off. I don't want to get shocked.
Why?
Because every time I walk over there, touch something, I get zzz.
Just ground yourself before you get there.
Well, they had a way of doing that. I mean,
Slap the microphone stand.
it doesn't matter. No matter what I do, something catches me over there.
Oh,
I get zapped.
anyway, let's do this medication stuff.
Yes.
And I've got obviously blood thinners. I've got
Yes.
this. I've got that. I had a heart attack in 1999. I had this little situation about, what was it, 3 years ago or so?
Yes.
And 2.5 years ago, whatever it was. And with a quadruple, I got a whole bunch of medicine out there. Do you think I end up taking it on schedule every day? No. Does anything happen to me? Apparently not yet.
Thankfully.
And stuff builds up in your system. So it was like some idiot that I worked with at one time. He said, if I miss my medication by an hour, I got to get that med by an hour. Oh my God, the drugstore, they closed. I won't have it till tomorrow. Well, then, I'll get my black suit out. If you're uptight about that, no, that's not the way it works. Get a doctor; he'll tell you that right up front. You don't have to be precise on the minute, folks. As he made a big deal. He was a drama queen. Shall I say more about that?
No.
I didn't think so. Anywho, that's it's. I don't know. We will know something at some point in time. Yes. She's probably, after a week and a couple of days now, she probably needs her meds. Now, I may ask you, if they knew this person, do you not think that they had some meds with them?
Oh, see, I've thought about that too.
Well, we counted her pills. No, you have no idea. Go count my
Right.
pills. I don't know how many pills I got.
And
up there.
it's possible that they did count the pills and see that there was a week's worth missing. They're not going to tell us.
No, they're not.
There's a whole bunch that has been uncovered
how
or
would
whatever.
They know if there's a week's worth. You get your pills. I get 90 days prescriptions, right?
Mhm.
I pick them up. I may have 30 pills left over in the first prescription when I pick up the next prescription. When did I get that second prescription? Oh my God, he's
Well,
got
it usually has a date on the bottle.
Yes, it does. That's the day it was filled. That was the day it was filled.
But let me
I've
tell
got
you,
2 extra prescriptions in there right now.
Let me tell you, there was one prescription that I was taking. It was for anti-inflammatory,
Did it work?
and yeah,
Well, give me some.
it worked really good. And I got to where I hardly ever take it, but every month it was being refilled automatically.
Ding, ding,
So I had-
ding, ding.
2 or 3 jars of it up in the cabinet, and finally they quit filling it because I never went in to pick it up. But I mean, it was good stuff.
All that stuff, it adds up. And
It does.
I've got extras up there. I could go probably a whole prescription.
I went to pick some up for Kathy the other day, and they said we're ready. I said you can reshelve them. They said you don't need them. I said, quite frankly, I got more at home of this than you've got back there.
Yeah, you want to buy some back? As the price gone up, I'll sell them back to you. Otherwise, I'm going to the street corner down here.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I have a very important question.
7.
What is good to take for heartburn? What's a good over the counter
A good
medicine?
man.
I'm just not even going there
yeah,
with this.
Kathy likes Tums.
No, it's got to be stronger than Tums.
Nexium.
Nexium,
Yep.
because I've
Tried and
been
proven.
getting bouts of that, and last night I got
Now,
a.
you don't
bad.
take one and it's going to work.
Oh, I know
It's
that.
one that has to build up
Been
in your
taking
system.
them, but the ones I had were prescription, and they're gone. They're out.
Well, you can
Done.
buy over the counter at 20 milligrams instead of full 40s for a prescription, and you don't need 40s unless you're in
I was
bad shape.
taking 40.
I know that's the way they give it to you in a prescription.
I was taking 40.
But when you do, after you get some in your system, back it down to one every other day.
Oh, I
one
don't
every
take
third
them on a
day.
daily basis. I only take them when I get heartburn.
Well, by that time, it takes you 5 days to make it work.
I had it within an hour last night. It was fine.
For Nexium, it will take you 5 days.
Oh my God.
Nexium prevents it. Okay.
Before you go offshore, if I could, because I haven't been able to say this in a long
He's
time.
about to take a trip offshore.
I know.
I'm going to Jamaica.
Okay,
I'm right
Mom.
behind you. 910-333-0139. But before we go offshore, I have something for both of you.
It's a piece of paper. Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Uh-oh.
Incoming, incoming, incoming. Oh, he's cute.
Reach Across America and Karen Worcester, the executive director, asked me to present this to you both from Reach Across America for your work and dedication throughout the year last year for honoring our fallen veterans.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate that. All of us.
Thank you, all of
it
us.
was just-
Yes.
It wasn't us. It was all of us.
Right.
It was all of us, but as far as to get things going, you got to have a team. You got to have support, live and local real talk.
Well, we've
gave
already
us that
started on
opportunity.
this year.
Yes, we
So
have.
Oh yeah, we
we both donated already.
But being part of the team,
we will get that up on our
Yes, we did. Let me see.
wall of
I'd like to see it, please.
honor
Thank
over
you.
there. No, we do appreciate that. I'm not sure whether he's going to call in or not, but we have him regularly scheduled for today, our congressman. So we'll wait and see. Haven't heard from him. We already know it's cold around
Very
these here
nice.
parts. The warmth is designed to confuse us, though. It's going to be warmer. Today, if you have a hankering, the weather is pretty calm. To offshore today, out to 20 nautical miles, southwesterly winds 5 to 10 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 this afternoon. 3 to 5 footers, 2 to 3 near shore. Sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to choppy in the afternoon. Wednesday, westerly winds 20 to 25 knots, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. 5 to 7 footers tomorrow. 3 to 5 near shore. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon, and there's a chance of rain tomorrow. Northerly winds on Thursday, 15 to 20, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon, 3 to 5, except 2 to 4, 2 footers near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon.
Today, sunny with a high near 67. Calm wind becoming southwest 5 to 8 miles per hour in the morning. Winds could gust as high as 15. Tonight, increasing clouds with a low around 52. Wednesday, a 50% chance of rain, cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny with a high near 66. Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low around 31. And Thursday, sunny with a high near 54. Loving it.
Checking around the community, and our community extended just a little bit further today.
Yeah, man.
Here in the southwest area, Randy this morning reported 25 chilly degrees, 92% humidity. no wind, and nothing in his rain gauge. We got no accumulation in anybody's rain gauge this morning. In the back swamp, Lee said it was also 25 degrees there, 96% humidity, and he had 29.95 inches of mercury. Joe in the Borough, 28 degrees, 95% humidity, and he had 30.01 inch of mercury in his barometric pressure reading device. Lady Blue, Woodlands area, 27 degrees, 84% humidity, no wind, 30.19 inches of mercury, and it was falling. Dale and Carroll over in River Bend reported 26 degrees, 95% humidity. Ward and Cedar Point, 36 degrees, and balmy 36 degrees. Just remember that number, 36 degrees, 87% humidity. Winds very slight out of the southeast, 30.26 inches of mercury. Brian, also in the Borough, 31 degrees this morning, 65% humidity, 29.86 inches of mercury. Here at the studio, 25 degrees, 93% humidity. Winds calm. Now it's up to 27 degrees. In the last 30 minutes, has jumped 2 more degrees, so it's up to 27, 93% humidity, and calm wind. Nothing in the rain gauge, 30.23 inches of mercury. Now let's go on down to Summerfield, Florida this morning. I checked with another ham network this morning. It was 42 degrees in Summerfield, Florida, 42. That's still kind of chilly. And nobody had any significant wind. Frank over in Summerfield, Dave over in Nash, New Hampshire had 16 degrees. It was chilly there, 16 degrees. And Joe over in Vermont had 9 degrees. John over in Lincoln, Delaware had 24 degrees. And my buddy down there in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Oh, what a glorious morning it's got to be there. 72 degrees. Remember that 36 I mentioned? 36 in Cedar Point. They doubled it.
Wow.
Doubled it. It's 72 in Montego Bay. All aboard the Jamaica train. Let's go jamming in Jamaica.
I have a friend that I was talking to at that gala, the Infinite Product Gala on Saturday night. He was the head chef, and he was asked, well, could we have postponed this one more week? He said, you could have, but I wouldn't have been here because I'll be in Punta Cana.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm going to Pollocksville next week. Does that count?
It starts with a P.
Furthest I've been is West Texas and North New England area, and then South Florida, and that's it for me.
That's where you're going?
No, it's the furthest I've been. I've never been out of country.
Really?
I think we have everything we need right here in the beautiful US of A. We have beautiful beaches.
Yeah.
With beautiful mountains.
Yeah.
Just don't go during hurricane season. I mean, we have all the attractions that you want.
Yeah.
But, for those that travel, like my granddaughter, who is in Morocco right now, hopping a flight to go back to Greece, that's where she's gonna stresses me out. She's been traveling the world since she's gone to college.
Why did you let her go?
I didn't let her go. I told her parents, I said,
did you stop her?
How am I going to stop her? She's 21.
Well, you're a grandparent.
Yeah.
No, grandparents are just good for money.
Grandparents have control
and love
that you've never even.
No, that's why she told me, no, Grandma, I've got people with me. No, you're by yourself. Don't be telling me stories.
Well,
I've got cameras everywhere you go. Don't you worry. I know I'm watching. I'm watching.
She doesn't want me to stress. I have to. She's 21, but still with these countries overseas, as bad as some of them are, I worry about her being by herself. So.
Well, they tell the military when they're signing them up, see the world.
Oh,
that's what she's doing. She's seeing the world right now.
You have to
join the Navy, sail all the seas, see the world.
No ships.
And puke your guts out if you don't know anything about this. Big boats and rough water.
All right. You want the latest medal count in the Olympics so far? Norway is still at 6 total. Switzerland 5. Italy, racking them up, 10. Japan 7. Sweden 5. Germany 4. United States 2. We've won 2 gold medals. That's it.
That's the same we had yesterday.
Yes. And then Austria, it's not Australia, Austria 4. And France is 2. Netherlands is 2. Canada's 3. New Zealand 1. So it goes on.
At least we're beating
Not
New
a
Zealand.
lot of gold medals right now.
They're
Well,
just getting started.
yeah.
They're warming
6,
up.
8, 10, 12, 14, 16.
We got one of
17.
our locals who's there watching it.
Who?
He has a friend who is there. I found out the other day.
Who?
Captain Bob Beck of Marina Cafe.
Oh, Captain
He
Bob.
just packed up and headed over. I'm sure he didn't just do that, but I didn't know he was going. But he didn't check with me anyway. He should have.
Did Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg.
I get so sad, tired of seeing him.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I guess he's part of the NBC family now, and so
Yeah, okay.
they own the rights forever to the Olympics. It seems like, and so he reports and he goes to all of them and all the events.
I like Snoop Dogg. I like Snoop Dogg.
He's
pretty cool.
He's better than Bugs Bunny.
Oh, don't get me started. That has been. Oh, and something that was just brought to my attention as far as the medal count. I was told that the Americans have yet to really get involved in a lot of the sports that they're in. So
Are they protesting?
Keep in mind that a lot of the best sports for the USA haven't been competed yet.
They like the beer crawl, the pub crawl.
That's just wrong, Rayford. Last night I watched the barrel racing last night.
Yeah, well,
Woo!
what can I say?
That was fun.
Nancy Guthrie was supposed to be, according to the day of her missing, which was a week ago Sunday,
Mhm.
when some neighbor friend, a friend from church, according to the media, I do not know that it was according to the sheriff's office. I do not remember reading that or hearing it. I don't know where it originated. I didn't pay that much attention to who said it, except that somebody was quoted by the media as saying that we noticed that she wasn't in church on Sunday morning.
Uh-huh.
Okay. The Guthrie family says, well, that's not exactly the way things were. She was not scheduled to attend an in-person church service in Tucson that morning because she was supposed to watch it and has been every Sunday since the COVID pandemic. She got together with a small group of friends to watch a New York-based church service via live stream. They did it from Tucson. The group would meet at one of the friends' homes and watch the service live from Savannah Guthrie's church in New York. So she was watching her daughter's church service, supposedly. And maybe that was the interpretation of the media, is that they thought she was going to be in church in Tucson. Well, she was in her home, supposed to be at a church in Tucson, and didn't show up.
Now that makes more sense.
She's 84 years old. Now, how would she have, took an Uber? How would she supposed to get to this church service? See, there are little details like that are what you can rest assured that those guys at the badges are asking. They want to know a little bit more about this and this and this and this. And some of these parts are not adding up, as did that
Right.
when they said it in the first place.
Right.
A family member dropped her off at about 9:30 on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Saturday night. Now, then it turned out it was 9:45, maybe. And one of the reports was it was the son-in-law and daughter. What's her name? Annie Guthridge. Yeah, whatever. Guthrie.
Yes.
And then
'Cause-
there's somebody else was putting out that no, it was, maybe it was just the son-in-law that dropped her off.
Yeah, it was at 9:48
That she had been over at their house
for supper. Yes.
for supper,
Right.
and sometime late afternoon, early evening, and until then, and they lived 4 something other miles,
Mhm.
according to some media source. They measured it.
Yes.
They had to have something to give. So,
Right. They had to have something to do.
So,
They'll all just
less than 5 miles from her home. Now, I don't know. My grandmother, one of my grandmothers, lived here. My mother's mom. She did not want to live with us during her latter year or two,
Right.
3. So there was a little trailer park at that time of about 6 or 8 spaces, right up here at the corner of 17 and Piney Green Road, on Piney Green Road.
Mhm.
So my dad bought her a trailer. Said, "How about this? Would you like to live? I want to live by myself." She was fine. She could do all that. She was like 78, 79, something like that. So she just wanted a little place of her own. And that's what she did. We picked her up on a Sunday evening Sunday afternoon to take her to lunch, summertime, brought her home. I got out of the car, walked up to the trailer with her, and the trailer door was not closed completely. When we picked her up, I walked up there to pick her up, and I closed the door, and it was locked. And I just pushed it. It went straight open, and I hollered at my dad. He came up, got her back to the car. And then I went into the house and started clearing it, because that was before cell phone days. We couldn't call anybody. But I started clearing the place. Well, it had been entered. And she never stayed alone again after that. That was it for her. And, then she started physically going downhill after that. That had an effect on her that resulted in her dying. I have no doubt about it. It cut short her life. Did these people go inside? Did they not go inside? Did they not go check? This is a big house.
Right.
I checked a trailer
Yeah.
in broad daylight.
Well, according to initial reports, they said that they had a definite crime scene inside.
Yes.
So,
But I mean, was there somebody waiting? Now we do know that people do break into places and wait for folks to come home. It happened up here on Country Club Drive.
right.
10 years ago?
Oh, yes. It was a gentleman came home. There was 2 in his house. Something like
Well,
that.
it was a gentleman. There were a couple of Marines, and
Right.
the dad of one of the Marines, the dad had come here, and they went out somewhere for drinks or whatever. They came home, and there were 2 guys inside. They had broken into the place and were stealing stuff.
Mhm.
That's all. But these people came home in the meantime.
Oh.
And of course, these 2 who did not come there armed found a shotgun that belonged to one of the Marines. And he held them at bay. And the plan was, according to the 2 Marines and the dad of one of the Marines, as they were talking, they were going to execute them. They were going to kill them because they had been seen.
Yeah.
So what do? We're going to kill them. One of the Marines, both were combat vets. One of the Marines owned a gun. Said he looked at that gun. He said, "Those idiots don't know that they didn't put one in the chamber. They don't know how to do it." So they sprang, knocked him down, took the gun, and he did what any good Marine would do in combat. He killed both of them. Duh.
Well,
Sorry, justifiable.
well, when you talk about someone may have already been in a house, it reminds me
Yes.
a lot. This is years and years ago. I'm not sure how many people remember the Scott Gasperson
Yes, remember the
Oh, we
Tragic-
all remember
tragedy,
that
yeah.
well.
When Mom was alive, God rest her soul, and she was living by herself, when I would take her home, I would take her home as in. I would unlock the door, I would get her in, and I would make sure that I heard that click. And yeah, I did check the house every time. And it was a nice neighborhood.
I cannot imagine 84 years old, coming home after dark, alarm, no alarm, whatever.
Mhm.
And if somebody had broken in, you would think that the alarm would have ring doorbell would have gone off and alerted somebody, unless they disabled it first.
Well, she had no subscription for it.
Right. But unless they disabled it,
Well, if she had just me, I'm thinking out loud now. If she
But-
had heart problems, they have those monitors that
Yes.
you would have thought she would have had one of those help. If she's
I don't
especially
know.
living by yourself.
do you?
I don't need one.
Do I? No.
Well, I'm not 84 living
Well,
by myself.
going
I'm
back.
almost 85.
Now,
Not that far from it.
you got enough in here to.
Oh, I make noise. That's all right.
Well, living where she lived, she was used to that way of living. She lived in a neighborhood that's
Very
pitch black, dark, day and night, just about.
Safe.
At night, safe, never any issues or
In a county that is not a overly sophisticated
Right.
county as far as law enforcement is concerned.
she
They took
evidently.
care- they just took care of the little minor crimes that they
Right.
had there.
Mhm.
She's 84 years of age. Of course, usually at 84 years of age, you do have some issues with your health.
Mhm.
Heart, that's expected. And her family obviously, looked out for her. She took an Uber to the house that night for the family night. Him, her, whoever brought her back home again. Obviously, they didn't go inside with her. But me, anytime I took my mama home, I always went inside
Oh,
the apartment.
absolutely.
I always went inside. I helped her settle in.
Ain't
I
gonna
made
be-
sure everything was
and
good.
I'm not going to be dropping you at the curb.
Right. And made sure she was locked up. And I also made her wear one of those necklaces,
You encourage
she
her.
never used, when she needed it, she didn't use it. But, that's independence.
Well,
But I'm sure that Miss Guthrie, she was a very independent woman. Her husband died. He died at the age of 49. And she never remarried, and she raised her two daughters, spent the rest of her days doing that. So she was a obviously, very, very independent woman.
Sure. I applaud her.
I do too.
I'm not questioning her.
Right.
I'm questioning why nobody else would have gone inside.
Right. Well, I
Or at
question
least
it
to
too.
the door, walk
Right.
to the door. Don't want to go inside. That's one thing. Me, given the history of other people breaking in and whatever. Oh yeah. Oh, you know me. But I'm that's the way that I am. I can't,
Mhm.
I won't say that everybody would think like that.
Right. Right.
I do.
Well, some of us are more suspicious. Some of us are more. We see more than what some people do. Some people, if they walked up and their their door was busted, they just run right in like, "What's going on?" No.
910-333-0139. I was out of town yesterday when I lost being able to listen to the show.
Mhm.
Anyway, I didn't know if y'all had a chance to talk about the Super Bowl and the
Oh, we did.
Oh, we did. And I was
Oh, we did.
congratulating the folks there in Wilmington.
Yeah, he's like, congratulations
Absolutely.
to the Wilmington Seahawks.
The Seahawks,
Like,
UNCW.
oh yeah,
I mean, if you can have a great basketball team, you can have a great football team as well. So I
was
just say,
like-
good.
for all our Dookie fans out there,
Oh my.
that was difficult.
That was go Tar Heels.
Well, and
That was a game.
well, I was emceeing the gala, and I had learned from years past, do not give the final score. I didn't know the final score until we're getting down to the very end, and then the guy said, "Oh yeah, the Tar Heels won on a last-second jumper."
But that's the way it always with them.
I
But that was, and Duke led most of the game.
When I did a lot of weddings and folks, if you're going to get married and you are a big sports fan, don't get married during March Madness. Don't get married during the Super Bowl, during the World Series. Just don't.
My daughter did, and when they went looking for the groom and the
They were in the
groomsman,
back room looking.
they were in the back room at the church watching the
Yep.
games.
of course.
They had somebody at one of the events. Some guy was out there, and he was giving information to the minister during the ceremony what the score was.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the balcony. I think he was a sound guy, and he was holding up the score.
55,
He was holding up the score,
23.
and I'm like, really? Come on.
It's a big
The
deal.
bride was in the room with the groom and the groomsmen on one of the occasions looking at the stupid little ball game.
Yeah.
Not on the phone, but on a small TV over in the corner. They bought a TV to watch.
Heck yeah.
You've got to be kidding me. It's all going to be replayed. What's the difference? You can see it again later.
It's not the same.
No,
You
it's the
cannot
same
watch a
thing.
replay
Yes,
and
you can.
enjoy it.
Oh.
No. That's like I cannot watch a NASCAR race the day after.
Well,
I have to see it live.
but you knew who won, right?
The guy who came in first.
Yes, yes.
But before you would have watched the replay, you would have known who won. You know what I'm saying? So if you
So
if
it
you
ruins
recorded
it.
it Sunday,
Right.
you knew Monday who won it, right?
See,
So
it used to
ruined
be back in the day when you had to record it, which I never did. I always saw it. But you like my kids were like, do not put anything on Facebook.
Right.
We have it recording. When we get home, we'll watch it. And it was hard not to.
Well,
but
And that's what happened to me 4 years ago when I was
Mhm.
doing another emceeing. And I said, okay. Oh, and by the way, for you Carolina Duke fans, and there were some people upset because they were recording it and they were going to go
yeah, a
home
lot
and
of
watch
people
it.
do. My brother does that. He records
Just
games.
say the score is 42-16. Who's ahead? I'm not going to tell you. You can watch it later.
That's right. I learned that a long
Oh.
time ago. You do not, but that was a crazy game. My heart, I needed heart meds after watching it.
Now, Rayford, you said don't get married during the Super Bowl, right?
Oh,
But my understanding is during the Super Bowl
Halftime
show that I didn't watch, like
yes,
a lot of people
I
didn't.
heard that
There
somebody
was-
got married.
Somebody got married
Yeah.
on the field in the show.
And according to Gutfeld last night, she was pregnant by the fourth quarter.
Oh my gosh, Gutfield.
I just,
That's what he said. I didn't say it.
He's crazy.
I've seen a lot of things written about it, pro and con,
Right.
on what happened and why he did what he did and why he didn't do what he didn't do.
Who he? groom?
Bugs
Bad
Bunny.
Bunny?
Oh, Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
The rotten rabbit.
He
Yeah.
makes a better wrestler than he does. In singers.
Oh well, you should be happy with Roman Reigns anyway. Aren't you?
Of course.
Okay, because he's the number one contender. And he, that's all right. Reef.
For her attention, you mean? For Lee's attention.
Benito,
Oh, yeah.
Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
That's his real name.
Okay.
Bad Bunny's real name.
And
Bonito.
he's right.
And you kin to that New York woman,
I don't know. I just.
Cortez,
I don't know.
Ocasio-Cortez.
Well,
I don't know.
he never performed in the United States before Sunday. The one good thing he did say, and I agree with, love is better than hate.
Oh, I agree with that.
And I totally agree with that. I totally disagree with the way that the halftime shows are now being done.
right.
And the reason I say that, a little quick history, halftime shows originally for the Super Bowl began to fill time. Rayford, you know that. You got to fill time somewhere. And they used marching bands.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. Then they started losing viewers. So they started deciding, okay, let's bring in some big entertainers like New Kids on the Block and Michael Jackson. Yada, yada.
Kids on the NTKOB.
Now they coordinate with Rock Nation.
In KTOB. Go ahead.
And where?
In KTOB.
Huh.
New Kids on the Block.
Oh, no, okay.
Gotta have it right.
God, sorry. They team up with Rock Nation. They pick the city, or the city of who's hosting goes to Rock Nation and goes, okay, who has the most entertainment value with diversity and says something about our city, and then it has to be approved by the NFL. So he takes San Francisco, and they were trying to reach the Hispanic community of San Francisco, which is, do you want to take a guess, the Hispanic population in San Francisco?
12.
Close. 0.05 to 0.06%.
First, the halftime show. How many people at any given Super Bowl do you think are from the immediate area where the Super Bowl is played?
None.
Pretty close. They know better.
Mm-hmm.
Has some good parking areas.
Why
real
are
cheap.
you catering to the locals for such an international event? National for sure, but international in nature. Why do you really care what San Francisco wants or does? I'm not saying anything about San Francisco or any other city.
No.
You got how many fans are you going to have at the Super Bowl? How many people live are going to be there? 100,000
in the stadium.
Yeah,
I think that stadium held 80,000.
so fewer than 100,000 people. What's the viewing audience on the Boob Tube?
Oh my gosh, 100
Millions.
Okay. Yeah.
And can I ask you?
So just for sheer numbers, who do you care about? 80,000 or millions of people? I rest my case.
Well, can I ask you something though? You know, they came out and they said that it was the most watched halftime show.
They say that every year.
133 million, and they compared it to past years and how many. Think about it as how did they get that number?
They draw it out of thin air.
Yeah.
Because my television was on and Bad Bunny was on the screen. He was muted while I watched a different TV on a different halftime show. So are they counting my television?
Your televisions are not wired for counting. They do it with a sample of an audience.
Do they still do that? I heard they don't do that anymore.
Do sampling of audience?
Yeah. I heard they quit doing it.
Well, I'd love
you
to.
read it on Facebook, did you?
No, Rayford, not everything comes off of Facebook.
I would love
God.
to. I would love to sample.
Stop.
I would love to sample our viewing audience listeners. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you watch the halftime show? And if you did, which one did you watch? Because they did Turning Point USA and said, more people were watching Turning Point USA than they were.
I don't know.
I'll call him by his real name, Bad Bunny, but
I don't know if the numbers that came out of all of that, anything. Now, I know on Turning Point, you get pretty good numbers because they do everything online. Like they did it on YouTube, on Rumble. They could not do it on X. X would not let them do it on that. There are different social media platforms, and it counts the people that connect to it, just like it counts the people that connect to our show. But what you see on screen is not actually what we have.
Right.
We go into our back office and it shows a whole lot more.
Not everybody is counted.
That's right. So because there's like on Facebook, I can go to Facebook and I could be scrolling through and I see your live. If I don't click on the screen, it doesn't get counted.
If you're not interacting.
But if I just sit there and watch it without clicking on it, I can still watch the show. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But the thing about it is, Turning Point, I think it's a good thing that there was something alternative for people who did not want to watch Bad Bunny.
Yeah,
I'm not saying Bad Bunny was a bad guy. No, I'm not saying that. And God forbid if you say anything against Bad Bunny, you're labeled as a racist. But
just call me honky.
It was not my type of entertainment.
When you can't, someone told me last night, it would have been nice if they had subtitles.
Well,
that's what I said. If everybody complaining, the complaints that I said, well, I couldn't understand a word of it.
Now, I will tell you.
Subtitle. Could you push it? Could you do closed captioning on your TV and see it?
Yeah, you probably could have.
It's from Spanish to English.
You'd have to change your settings on your TV.
Yep.
Well, let me tell you, though, I do not know if it's true or not. Trump put it out on his social media last night.
Therefore, we have no way
the
of knowing.
lyrics to the words of one of the songs that Bad Bunny sung. I do not know if it's legit. If it is legit, it's probably best that you didn't know what those words were. But like I said, I don't know if there's truth to it or not. I'm sure that the fact checkers will be out soon with it. But
first of all, trying to translate any language into if you get into English and you take Chicago gangbanger English and try to translate that into something else, is no telling what you're going to come out saying, or vice versa. So it's just like, that's not the way things work.
It was so bad. The lyrics were so bad that I read, like I say, I don't know that it's true, but the lyrics were so bad, it would have embarrassed me sending them to both of you. And I thought about it at one time and I said, no, I can't do it. As crazy as I can get sometimes, it would have embarrassed me to send you those lyrics. So anyway, now they're accusing Kid Rock of lip syncing his. But he was on Fox News Live last night. And he said, no, they're going to do whatever they can to discredit me. He said, but I was actually singing. So
If you had
Here
any
we
idea
go.
how much stuff is, way back in the days of the bubblegum music and everything else on Ed Sullivan and whatever, that stuff was not live. First of
Right,
all,
right.
those bands in those days, they were not the bands that did the recording. Those groups were not the groups that you saw in person.
Are they? Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my God!
here you've got different government officials now. A U.S. representative in the state of Florida is demanding that the FCC review Bad Bunny's set list. He believes broadcast rules will violate with lyrics not suitable for television. See, once again.
Have you watched any television of late?
Oh my gosh, have you watched Congress? They're filthy mouths.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just talking about the committee hearings, but go ahead.
I just want to say the young man that sang the national anthem,
Charlie Puth.
Charlie Puth.
Oh, it was so
I
good.
thought it was a good redemption. I still
was
say
very
Whitney
sweet.
Houston had the best.
Yeah,
ever.
nobody's going to ever be able to do it like Whitney did.
I have a
What was
problem.
the
with
worst
the worst?
that you can recall?
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, what was her name?
She was Chunky Monkey for one thing.
Yeah. Oh,
Her first name starts with an R. Last name was with a B. Has nothing to do with me. RB.
I was going to say Rihanna, but it would be Rihanna.
Sure, her last name is the same as a former high-ranking official inside a president's administration.
You talk. No, that was.
You got me on that one.
Oh. She had a TV show.
Well, it's not Oprah. She had a TV show.
Oprah can't sing. Oprah can't act.
Roseanne Barr.
Oh, God.
my God.
Thank you.
You tried to remove her from your brain, didn't you?
I'll tell you who, in my opinion, did a close second to Whitney, and that was Jennifer Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
That girl can belt.
Yeah.
She did really, really good. But when you bring up the national anthem, and I'm very critical of the NASCAR races when they have a performer singing them, because when you sing the national anthem, I think you should sing it the way it was intended to be sung. But some of these artists that get up there and they do all these crazy runs and all these crazy notes and they add to it, I'm like, boo. I don't like it. Sing it like it's supposed to be sung.
Well, I don't know if I made this comment to both of you or not. The Puppy Bowl was at 2:00.
I watched part
And
of it.
one thing that I did notice, and how they did it, I'm sure they maybe held up food or something like that. But they had the national anthem, and all the dogs were looking up at the flag. They're all like this. And my problem is this, and it's just me. I put my hand over my heart during the national anthem. I do it at
Me
the
too.
Cardinal games,
I did too.
wherever. And I understand I played football. I know you have pads on and stuff, but there's nothing preventing you from putting your hand over your chest. But all the football players hang like this.
Yes, I know.
Yep.
They got to look cool.
Well, you talk about the national anthem back in 2011 when Christina Aguilera sung. About 40 minutes into it, she botched up the words and had to put out a public apology for it. But you know what? That's one song you don't ever want to mess up. And you hear so many artists talk about how nervous they are to sing.
First of all, is one of the hardest things to sing, according to people who know how to sing. The notes, they go from there are not that many people who can do that. And if you listen to the song very carefully, you will hear not the original octave somewhere at times, where it goes from here to yonder. It just goes part way there and then comes on back down. It doesn't go all the way to the top because not everybody can reach that. In fact, most people cannot reach that level unless you step on their toe.
All right, here.
Or show Lee a mouse that runs across her computer. She'll reach octaves that'll peel the paint.
All right, who's the music icon that started the tradition in 1982?
So
George
Ding,
Jones.
ding, ding,
What
ding,
tradition?
ding, ding, of singing the national anthem pregame.
in 80.
Dun, 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 dun,
Willie
dun,
Nelson.
dun. Diana Ross.
Where I was going to say, where was it?
Diana Ross.
Yeah.
She started the tradition was started with her. I wouldn't say she started it, but yeah, it was started with her.
I mean, there have been good.
Barry Manilow.
There's been good renditions of the national anthem. There's been good halftime shows.
Yeah.
Neil Diamond.
But what has happened, at least this is what is my thoughts after I did some research last night, is it went from filling time to entertainment to now political genre.
Well, I think the halftime show had a lot of political theme in it. And I kind of felt like there were some digs in there.
There were.
And, you know, that's like I told you a couple of weeks ago. I didn't watch the Grammy show. I watched the red carpet event before the show. Hollywood has gone to it's pure smut. Pure smut.
He wasn't he won Grammys. He was not allowed to perform because in the stipulation to be in the Super Bowl, you cannot perform.
I thought he sung at the Grammy.
Nope. Wasn't allowed to. Wasn't allowed to. And they get paid for their entourage and what it takes to get them there, but they only make $1,000 to $2,000 to do the game. Their compensation is being there.
Well, I just wonder.
Publicity.
Yeah.
I just wonder, with all the stuff that came out about Bad Bunny headlining the halftime show, if that wasn't a lot of the reason why he won the Grammy for Best Artist. I'm telling you, Hollywood has gone so left, so woke.
Yeah. Yeah, they have. You know, it's been going on for years and years and years. Saw a clip of Bob Hope one time, years ago. It was I think it was on a movie that it was in, and he was making jokes and all that sort of good stuff. And it may have been a cowboy or pseudo cowboy picture, but he said something, and then he said, "Oh yeah, and that's why they're known as Democrats, because Hollywood used to be the other way. They did not like Democrats. They liked the money people, which they considered the Republicans as being the ones who were financing them and taking care of business.
Mm-hmm.
They were not looking for a political agenda. They're looking for a financial cash cow."
And they went left when?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like I left Onslow County and it was all Democrats here in office, and I came back and it was all Republicans. And I couldn't find a Democrat, which we're still looking, by the way, for you guys out there. If you're a Democrat, you're running for office, and I know that you don't have any skin in the game in the March primaries. However, if you don't get your name out there now, come November, they're going to say, "Who is this? Why haven't we heard of this person until now?"
Let's talk about that.
Just as a suggestion, folks. And I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. I'm a nothing, but I'm an observer and I'm a realist. If your name is not out there on a regular basis, if you don't make public appearances, if you're not getting airtime, if you're not out there seeking publicity, if you don't have any signs put up already, I don't care whether you're running in March or not. You have no race, but you are running. You're running right now for November. This is just a preliminary contest. You've already got that one won. Not a big deal. I know a North Carolina state senator here who's been unopposed in many elections, even in November. He still has his signs up. He ain't stupid. He said, you got to be around year round. They got to know who you are, that you're still there.
Yes, we have a state senator that says even though he was running with no opposition,
That's
he
what I'm
went
talking
out
about.
and put up signs
did.
and worked the polls.
Yeah,
he
he
said, no, it's important for people to see me.
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
And you
There's
know, I
always
saw
next
him
time.
yesterday. He was on his way back to Raleigh. I saw him yesterday at the Jacksonville Onslow Chamber of Commerce candidate forum. If you didn't watch it, I put the links on our page yesterday. You can go back and watch it. First up was Board of Education. I was not allowed. I could not be there personally in person because of the time constraints, but I did watch it, and then I did go in person to the county commissioners forum. It was interesting. The Board of Education. I really need to go back and watch it again because I have so many distractions, but yeah, I don't know how that one's going to go. The county commissioners was your two incumbents were able to answer all the questions efficiently and proficiently and had the facts and figures and numbers in their vision for the future. The other three that were there, I think, did fine. And one, the Tyler Gooch, I think is his name, didn't show up. So there was a vacant chair there. But I think the moderator did an excellent job with the questions. Questions were really, really good. And I like the very last question is, you've got 60 seconds. You're in an elevator, or you could be on an escalator. You're stopped. You got 60 seconds. You have voters in the elevator with you. What would you tell them? What reason would you give them of why they needed to vote for you? And I think the best speech I heard was the chairman of the board, Tim Foster. How he got all he got out in 60 seconds is amazing. But I almost felt like standing up and giving him an ovation. But, you know, he did an excellent job. And I appreciate what he said about Onslow County. But he grew up here too. You know, he grew up here. He's watched this county change over the years and grow. So, but the forum was very, very good. It was very informational. It kind of gives you an insight into each candidate and what they had to say. There was a couple candidates that weren't brushed up on some of the questions that were asked. In other words, I could ask you a question that you don't have any knowledge about because you've never delved into that subject yet. So there was some of that.
I was going to say.
So, which that's pretty normal. But other than that, it was a good forum. It went quick.
Well, I was just going to ask you that when you mentioned that, you know, the two incumbents knew some
Yes.
answers and stuff. Just to, and then I'll go back and watch it too.
Well,
But
I
if the questions were to the point where those that are running now that are not the incumbents would know this information.
some of that, no, but I'm talking about like some of them were bringing up the fire departments about how they felt like the fire departments were not getting funded properly and how they weren't being treated fairly. But yet your two incumbents were able to sit there, and Tim Foster says, like, let me tell you how much money we've given them over the last 8 years, whatever, and came out the figure and number. And I think a lot of it is people sit back and they get their opinions on the way something works, and that's all they see. They don't come out of the field and look at all the other stuff. Now, I know one of her candidates was here on the show, and I know she said she has sat down and read the budget. She's read the strategic focus. So she was pretty well versed. And I know some of the others had not done that.
Well,
Excuse me. Got a bug in my throat.
as a person without a vested interest in any particular, like a fire department or the fire departments in general in the county,
Right.
or the EMS service or any, that for many candidates is one of their only picking points. Let's just put it that way. That's what they're after. they're after the, and quite often it's because that they are and I'm not talking about any of them today. I'm talking about in general in the past in this
Right.
county and others,
Mm-hmm.
that there's something that's happened at fire department X and they didn't get this and they didn't get that. And then they take this and you know what? The rest of the county doesn't really care.
Mhm.
Sorry, folks. When you're running for public office here in Onslow County as a county commissioner, as a school board member, you don't care just about the Bell Fork Elementary School, about Jacksonville High, Northside High. You don't care just about those schools. You care about the entire educational system in Onslow County. You don't. Everything should be equal, and everybody, and that's what you are there to make sure it's done. All areas are treated equally. Now, if some areas are not getting the attention they should be getting, then they need to be brought. They need to be brought up to par. But if that's your only reason for running, and only thing you've got to say is, "Well, I don't know about the overall condition of the county. What do you mean? I need to know something about how much our fund balance is in case there's a hurricane." That's not what I'm not here to discuss it. I don't know anything about hurricanes.
And I will say a lot of your candidates are
You
fresh.
go home.
They've never been in government service. They don't know a lot of the stuff. They've not delved in. The two incumbents have been on the board for 8 years now.
Well, you can learn by losing.
And the thing about it is, unless you sat there and you've spent a lot of time going over the budget, going over the strategic focus, going over what, the future, the vision of the county is and all that, it's really going to be hard for you to answer some of those questions. But I think for the most part, you should have a pretty good grasp on what you would like to see, what direction you would like the county to go into. Some did, some didn't. I know that recreation was brought up a lot, and you had one candidate said, "I think we should spend money on what we have and improve that rather than go build new." But then you had an incumbent who said, "We've done survey after survey after survey, and there's people who live in this area of the county, people live in that area of the county that want a recreation center there. So we're going to do that. We're still going to take care of the others." So I guess a lot of it's researching and actually knowing what is going on and what is existing now. And there was a lot of talk about the budget. Some of the candidates felt like that the county was spending too much money and the budget needs to be cut back.
I agree with that until you can prove otherwise. And as far as the budget is concerned, and I know that you have maintained, because you know that some issue. I want to know that if our county commissioners, they can hire, they can get together, they can do it as a group, they can do it as an individual, have gone through and demanded copies of all of the receipts for every dime that every department spends in the way of, let's just say, now I'm talking about the handout programs, the goody-goody programs. The people that want money.
Nonprofits,
Yeah, the so-called nonprofits. I want to know how that money was spent that we awarded you. I want to know how every dime was spent. And a gala may be totally appropriate. If you come out of that gala, you go in there and you spend $20,000 and you come out and you have commitments for another $100,000. That's called advertising or promotions. But if you do it just to, hey, we're having a gala because we got some money, and you break even, that is not the way that money is supposed to be spent.
I need to talk to one of the commissioners about that and find out the latest on how that works. I know I was told at one time that if a nonprofit comes before the commissioners, like during budget time, and they say, "Hey, we'd like to put in a request for $5,000. Here's our nonprofit, here's our paperwork, here's our finances." I'd like to know how that decision is made.
Well, what I'd like to know is that we need $5,000. Well, What are you going to do with it?
And do you follow through?
Well, what are you going to do with that $5,000? Okay, let's put that down in writing here. This is what you're going to do with it, and then we will pay for it as you do it. We're not going to give you $5,000 across the board. You can come back to us and say, this is what we need today as this budget year goes along. It'll be in the budget.
Well, I know
But
that.
only if we can approve the individual items as you come through, not paper clips, but I'm talking about major expenditures.
Well, I know that a lot of these, I know that the county has part of their
Oversight.
budget that they set aside to do stuff like this. And a lot of these nonprofits,
Set it aside, give it back to me.
a lot of these nonprofits provide excellent services for people in the county that the county can't normally provide. It's cheaper for them to give a nonprofit the money and say, you do it for us rather than us do it.
Well,
So
it makes you feel better to say that.
I know that.
there's Royce, and Royce is going to straighten every bit of this out.
Okay.
Thank you,
Let
Lord.
me say this. I know when I was president of the Boys and Girls Club for 8 years, we went before the county, we went before the city.
Mhm.
And one of the questions that we were asked is, what are you doing to help yourself? So we had to show that we were actually doing fundraisers and such.
Right. Well, I
that-
know they are because
yeah.
I've given them money.
For sure. But with that, we were actually doing things, steak and burgers, events, things like that. But we were out there trying to raise money if we were going to ask for the money.
Please straighten this out, Royce.
So what are they doing with that money that they ask for and they get from other people, like from Lee? What do they do with her money? And do they have to report that back to the county? Do they report all other money that's coming in back to the county
Let
before they
Royce
ask the
tell us.
county for money? I'm asking Royce.
Jump in, Royce.
Hey, Rayford, Lee, Chris. Good
Hey,
to talk to
Royce,
y'all
good
this
Hey.
morning. Yeah, you had an interesting conversation going there about our nonprofit grants.
Yes.
So I guess we should talk about the process. We have a grant manager who goes through applications. We're looking for people who are providing a service that the county needs, that the citizens
Mhm.
need, that the county doesn't or can't or doesn't want to provide. I'm talking about things like the homeless shelter. The county doesn't want to
Right.
run a homeless shelter, and community outreach is doing a great job of it. So why
Mhm.
should we spend your money to start a homeless shelter when it's already when the job's being done, and we can give them a portion of what it costs to run that shelter, and save you guys taxpayer money. Those grant applications go to the grant manager. She makes sure that they meet the criteria that we're looking for. If they do, then they go to a committee of our county leaders, our administrative people, who go through their finances. We do look at their budget. We don't want to fund the entire budget of any nonprofit, and all of our grant money is refunds for expenses. So they got to have enough money up front to pay the expenses, and then they send the receipts and ask to be reimbursed for it. So, and we have a whole team of finance people who sit in there and review those receipts. And I can tell you, Rayford, I'm sorry, but I have not reviewed millions of dollars worth of receipts personally. But we have a whole team of people who are tasked with doing that. So, I mean, I feel like our process. I'm never in favor of. I have to be very careful giving away taxpayer money. You know, if you guys want to support the Boys and Girls Club or community outreach or Salvation Army, then I encourage you to give your money to them. But I don't want to be the guy who forces you to give your money to the county, and then I willy-nilly just give it to them because that's who I want to support. I want to know when I give them money that they're doing something that's going to save you money. So that's my philosophy. I think that's the county's philosophy on these nonprofit grants.
That's exactly what I want to know. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm not saying that you guys are not doing it. I just want to know, is there accountability after the fact? I give you $5,000 for your whatever projects, and do I pay that all? Just willy-nilly, here's $5,000, go spend it the way you want to spend it or whatever, like the school board.
You know, I think about the Sneed Ferry Shrimp Festival.
Mhm.
So we usually give them about $5,000. I think that's what they usually get. They get it for advertising because we think that bringing people into the county for the shrimp festival and promoting Onslow County Shrimp Festival is a benefit for the citizens of Onslow County. They spend that money on advertising, and they send us the receipts for it, and we reimburse them for that.
I like the word reimburse.
Mm-hmm.
They send you receipts for whatever. I'm assuming that they have some seed money somewhere that they can pay these bills as they go along, and then they submit to you. Here are the receipts that we paid. This is the 5,000. This is for the $5,000 that you have told us we could have if we did this. Here's what we did, and can we get the money? That's the way it's supposed to be done. But just because it's budgeted does not mean that they get it across the board. Because we can look at Chicago, we can look at Minneapolis, we can look at a whole bunch of places, and across this country, we can look in Onslow County into a daycare center that didn't have anybody in the daycare center that we were spending money for a few years ago. Remember that one, Royce?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you understand why I'm concerned, and I have questions.
Well, hey, yep, and I'm trying to assuage your concerns because I just think about just a couple of years ago, or maybe it was last year, Swansboro had to cancel their fireworks show, and we were going to fund part of that fireworks show because we believe that was good for our tourism, and they canceled that show, so they did not get the money for their fireworks show, and that money stayed in our bank account.
Wonderful.
And I don't know if it rolled over till the next year, or if we used it for something else. But
You could have refunded some tax money.
Yeah.
So, in other words, like, say, let's just pick one. The Arts Center on the Jacksonville, the Onslow County. What's the Arts Center? Bad example. Let me go to something else. Okay. Say Boys and Girls Club. Let's use what Chris was talking about. So they come before the county commissioners. They said, we'd like to apply for $10,000 in grant money. Okay. You don't give that to them in advance. You wait till, if you approve it, you wait until they produce the receipts, right? Where they spent that money for advertising.
Yeah, but they don't apply for just $10,000 in grant money. They need to apply for what they are going to do with that money. We don't just give them the money and say spend it the way you want to.
Yeah. Well, I meant that. Yes.
Well, the grant may be for a summer program for the kids. The grant may be for I can't think of anything else right now. The after-school program for kids at the Boys and Girls Club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we used it for. I'm sorry, Rice. We used it for expanding. We put after-school programs in other areas of the county that didn't have it. So that's part of what that's part of what
I would assume then that you would not approve $10,000 for to learn how to play tiddlywinks. Is that correct? I mean, you guys would have some oversight on something about that in advance, right?
So the Boys and Girls Club did not produce any receipts. They got no money, right?
That's correct.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I've always had a lot of concern about giving taxpayer money to nonprofits. I've talked about that a lot over the years, and I try to make sure that we're very careful. I'm only one, but I try to make sure that we're very careful with the way we use your money, and that, like I said, that your money is used for something that is eventually going to save us money because the county doesn't have to spend more money to provide the same service.
Like the homeless shelter. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good example. And the Salvation Army gets $0 from the county.
Oh, okay.
Salvation Army does all of its work with private donations.
Yep.
So, we appreciate you guys supporting the Salvation
Absolutely.
Army.
Absolutely, too. We need to have somebody come in and start talking about some of the programs coming up.
Well, we got to talk about cooking.
And that's Johnslow, not people who cook. Johnslow.
Johnslow Eats.
Johnslow Eats.
For a cause.
We really need to change your name.
Okay.
Let's just call it chow time.
It's chow time.
Lee's just not going to. You'll never
I'm
fall
just-
with that, right?
Yeah, I'm still we're still working on getting one of our state
He
commissioners.
said he
in.
was going to compete.
He said he's coming.
Said he wants to
Oh,
compete,
man.
and then we're going.
I think it'll be fun.
I'm gonna put hold his feet to the fire. He made
Yeah,
the comment.
I'll call him.
He
I'll
volunteered
call
it. So
When is that upcoming?
April,
Yeah,
April.
that's May.
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 Close.
Yeah, it's May the 3rd, I
I'll
think.
have him down.
The first Saturday in May.
Well, election
so-
season.
Yeah. You guys, I'm gonna get. I need to get our major gold farb in with you guys.
Yes.
Maybe I'll come with him if I can.
Absolutely.
That'd be
But,
great.
Yep. We
Wonderful.
can talk about John's Loics and the Salvation
John's
Army.
Low.
Royce, please hold their feet to the fire. All the commissioners, all of the folks who are out there, and I'm not against those folks who are doing work for the county.
Right.
There are some wonderful charitable organizations out there that they deserve. They deserve whatever. But I just want to make sure that we know in advance and not wait for 6 months from now or a year or 5 years from now and find out that the FBI is looking into this. You understand?
Oh Lord, yeah.
Take a look, see at the history of what's happening in Minneapolis, and if that doesn't scare the bejesus out of you, $9 billion should.
Have you got a Doge in the county?
We do, yeah. Our innovation lab is looking for those
right.
kind of things all the time.
You talked about
Look,
that.
as soon as I heard about the Somalia thing, the first thing I did was I called the county manager and I said, please tell me we don't have any money going to any daycare centers.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we don't fund any daycare centers. All that comes through the state if there is any. So, the county has no county dollars in daycare centers.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Well, now you understand. You appreciate it. You remember. I remember.
Back, years ago, that one daycare center.
That
Well, it
was
was city, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
What's that county?
Miss M.
Auntie M's.
Auntie M, yeah.
Auntie M's.
Something like that.
No,
My
Yeah.
daughter went there
Anyway.
when she was little.
She was the only person.
Yeah. Anyway,
Wow, there was people.
yeah, our innovation lab is looking for those kind of things and ways that we can save you money and
Thank
ways
you.
that we can improve our processes. Maybe maybe we can tweak a few things here and there and save you guys some money.
Thank you.
A lot of good things have come out of it already, like online building permits. You can now
Yes.
apply for and get your building permits online, pay for them.
I can help you out with that in a hurry too. Let's do a joint Onslow City of Jacksonville and Onslow County building inspections, and let them have one group, or just one group handle it, because it's all the same pockets. All right.
Well, let me ask you this, Royce. Can like a person that needs to get a business license, can they do that online?
We don't have business licenses in North Carolina anymore.
Okay,
that's
say
gone.
somebody wants to put in their certificate showing that they are a licensed pastor now.
Huh?
I don't know.
how
Say
you
you're a
do that.
minister.
If it's a
And-
business,
You're a
business.
minister and you do weddings. How do you have to go down to the city of Jacksonville or the county and apply for a thing to do that? I mean, you have your certificate, you have your schooling, but you've got to be on file in order to show that you're legal to perform the weddings, the funerals, the whatever in the state of North Carolina, right?
You got me on that one.
At one time,
I don't know.
the cities and the counties and stuff that issued so-called business permits. There were any number of things, and believe it or not, they tried to do that for photographers. And to do it for photographers, they had to have a business location. Well, sorry, photographers don't have a location. They go everywhere.
Yeah.
And they tried to do it, but they found out that, guess what? The state of North Carolina overrules all that for photography. We had that one. Commercial photography, nope, does not exist for any city or county to be able to regulate. And I think that's come to pass on most of the businesses is what it comes down to being. It was just a source of revenue for them, and they did nothing for it.
It was, yeah. The only good thing about it, and we
Scam.
saw it during Hurricane Florence, is that we used to have used to know who was doing business in the city or the county. You know, after Florence, we had a whole lot of people ripping people off,
Yep.
coming in, telling them they're gonna do work for them. They take their money and they run. And if they had business licenses, then you know the police could go catch these people soliciting and say, "Hey, have you got a business license?" No. Go down to the city. You got to have a business license. And we knew who they were, and they were identified, and they couldn't get away with your money quite as easy.
You still have to have a solicitor's permit to go door to door requesting or selling anything or offering services, as I remember.
Yeah, I think they do that in the city. But anyway, that's business license is a thing of the past. So
Okay.
you don't have to have a business license. You just go get your certificate of occupancy from the city or county and move right in.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
you guys have a good
Thanks,
day.
Royce.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you
Appreciate
for the
it.
information.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
It's great to have someone who's listening and who can respond to questions.
Right,
And he understands.
And he knows he has the answers.
And that's the greatest thing. All I
Right.
want to know is, are we accounting for the money that we're spending?
Well,
right.
I believe something as big as the YMCA, the pool, it's being done that way.
Yes,
They
it
have
is.
to turn receipts in
And
before they get
you get
anything.
paid for it.
Yeah.
It's a pay as you play thing.
Well, I know
Yeah.
one of the commissioners that told me that whenever you have these nonprofits that go before the county and would like to get into that grant program, whatever, that they have to check their all their information,
I
their
wanna know what the
finances, make
pedigree
sure
is.
that they are licensed,
Right.
under the state of North Carolina for a nonprofit, et cetera.
Nonprofits have to be with the
Secretary of
Secretary of State. Yep.
Mhm. Secretary of State. And their finance reports, you have to go through the IRS for those.
Out to 20 nautical miles today. Wind's going to be out of the southwest at 5 to 10 knots. Nice. Increasing to 15 to 20 this afternoon, kicking up just a
Yeah.
little bit. Seas 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore.
Mhm.
Sounds and rivers, just a light chop, increasing to choppy this afternoon. Tomorrow, westerly winds, now not too nice. 20 to 25 knots, diminishing though, 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Tomorrow morning, seas will be 5 to 7 feet. 3 to 5 near shore. Sounds and rivers will be rough tomorrow. They'll come down to being just nothing but a moderate chop by the afternoon. There is a chance of some precipitation in the form of rain. There will be no snow tomorrow. Thursday, because it's illegal. Northerly winds on Thursday, 15 to 20, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. 3 to 5 footers, about 2 feet near shore. That's nice. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon.
Okay, today, sunny with a high near 67. Southwest winds 5 to 8 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. Tonight, increasing clouds with a low around 52. Wednesday, a 50% chance of precipitation. Cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly sunny with a high near 66. Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low around 31. And Thursday, sunny with a high near 54.
Here at the studio, we're back
Yeah.
up to freezing now. It's 32 degrees outside the studio. It's a little bit warmer
Yeah.
out in the sunshine here, but officially it's 32 degrees. A Los Angeles-based federal judge has blocked Mr. Newsom and California from enforcing its law that would require ICE agents to remove their clothing and mask during
Just their
immigration
mask.
enforcement operations. They do not have to take their mask off. What?
You
They
said
don't have to-
clothing and mask. What?
They don't have to take their clothes off
Are
either.
we talking naked again?
Judge Christina Snyder. I have to do something to get your attention. Judge Christina Snyder, appointed during the Clinton administration, granted a preliminary injunction against the No Secret Police Act. What?
Oh,
They
get
came up with a
out.
No Secret Police Act,
Get
arguing that it
out.
is it discriminated against the federal government by violating the Supremacy Clause.
Mhm.
Dummy, and dummy. California, you just wasted a lot of your taxpayers' dollars right then. You need to
Wow.
take a salary cut and refund it, every bit of it.
Mm.
All you got to do is look under the constitutional clause. Federal law takes precedence over any conflicting state or local law, rendering the lower level law unenforceable and unconstitutional. That is the basics of the thing called the Supremacy Clause. The federal law rules. You cannot tell them they got to wear the badge. They want to do that. It did block the facial covering ban. The court allowed the state's No Vigilantes Act. What? To remain in effect, which mandates all officers to show their agency affiliation and a personal identifier, such as a badge number, on their uniforms. If you're not wearing a uniform, you still have to flash a badge to somebody. You've always had to do that. How do you know that they're a good guy if they don't show you a badge?
Mm-hmm.
I know they do it, and it's got to be a fad. I think it started in California on the beaches, and it's done that way here. They allow cloth badges to be sewn into your uniforms. I do not agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is a piece of you can buy those at the dime store. And do we have any of those left? At some clothing store, it says it's kind of like going in. It's like going into the t-shirt shops and buy something that says security.
Well, let me tell you some of the reasons for those type of embroidered badges.
I know that.
You know, it's better than getting your badge ripped off your shirt during a fight.
I know that, but how do you know
Ripping
who
your
these
shirt.
individuals are?
And then,
Well, they rip the shirt. They get a knot in the head.
that's why you always wear a shirt under the shirt.
I would like to know, and I'll never be able to ask him, but why Hakeem Jeffries has such a problem with ICE agents wearing masks. What is the big problem with it? These men and women are doing a very tough job.
Look how many have been threatened and their families threatened because they found out who they were.
I'm going to find my raid mask. I've got one still.
Mhm.
Oh, Lord.
It's
This
like the bad boy
Yeah.
mask, and that's
Mhm.
what it looks like. So what it was made for. It's when you're doing raids that they don't know. You got a uniform on, or you got things that says a police on it. You got badges on. You got all sorts of stuff there, and you're screaming and hollering at people. But they can't just reach out and say, "Okay, I know you." No.
Hey, you're my neighbor.
So it's okay for the protesters to
Yes.
wear masks.
No, it's actually not.
Well,
Not in North Carolina.
Not in North Carolina,
Not in
but
North
in these other states that are having issues, so he wants the protesters to be able to wear masks and things, but not law enforcement. It makes no sense. But then again, every time he opens his
It's
mouth,
just
it makes no
another
sense.
reason for someone to go after ICE for doing what they're doing. It's just,
Well,
Y'all got something to hide, and when this ICE stuff started back in the California days, about ICE officers were going in, ICE agents were going in, and customs enforcement, and they would go in and they would find people who were working in people's homes, and a lot of those people's homes were the Nancy Pelosi's and others, just like that, and they were illegals. They weren't paying taxes. And they found out through IRS a lot of times that when you hire somebody to work daily in your home, they are an employee. You've got to fill out the paperwork on them. You have to submit it. You've got to pay unemployment insurance. But if they are illegal, you won't do that because you're not supposed to be hiring an illegal. So it was a problem. And ICE started arresting people. They were deporting these folks. And that's why the politicians got all up in the air, because we can save money by not paying all that stuff. They can come work for us if we hired somebody else from this country, we'd have to pay them. We'd have to fill out the paperwork. So we'll just do it under the table, right? Contractors, same thing. Here in Jacksonville, it was done.
well,
I was on the job, saw it done.
so late news last night was, the government temporary shutdown is now going to be a shutdown because the Democrats are not going to move.
Oh, poor babies.
They're not going to move, and that's just the way it's going to be.
Hell them up, move them out.
So they're gonna shut the government down because ICE agents are wearing masks.
Yeah.
Do away with Halloween then.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to make it sound so silly, but
it is silly.
It is silly.
It is totally silly. It hasn't stopped. I'm waiting for them to jump up all them down about this one because our military is not a law enforcement group, right? They don't take military except aboard the bases involving yada, yada,
Right.
yada. But as far as going out into the civilian world, they don't go out and arrest people. They don't kill them, let them blow them up. They don't do whatever. That would be illegal, right? A narcotics vessel that was working along the West Coast met its end Monday as the U.S. Southern Command, that's the military, confirmed that the boat was targeted, then eliminated. Boom. Bye-bye.
I saw that.
The
Did you see the video?
Yeah, the Southern Command said that a military unit opened fire on the boat. The boat came to an abrupt end. 2 people on board came to an abrupt end. Another was injured. I don't know whether they've ever recovered him or not, but he was, from video, he was hurt. Not known how many drugs were actually on board. Didn't matter. It went blub, blub, blub. Davy knows. Davy Jones. Yeah. With the increased activity along the East Coast and the Gulf Coast, known terrorist organizations have been expanding. They got so much grief coming out of South America and Central America that they now moved over into the Pacific to try to move their stuff up that way. Now we're blowing them up there. Now, here's going to be the way they can do it and have been doing it. They're operating under the guise of the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard has jurisdiction. They have police jurisdiction. They can intercede. They can request assistance from the military to help. You have any idea how many times back in the day that Oslo County Sheriff's Office and Jacksonville PD requested assistance from the Marine Corps in the use of a helicopter to use it as a platform to look for bad people? More than one time. Bank robberies, yes, sir, buddy. The Marine Corps made available a 53 or 4, well, generally a 46 in those days, a 46 or a Hewitt. Most of the time it was a 46 to go put a cop on board to go out and look. They had no qualms about it. I don't know how you would get it done today with the red tape and the bureaucracy crap. But that's all you had to do is make a call out there. New River said, come on, let's go. Routine flying, routine training mission.
That's
neighborly.
Yeah.
You want to be a part of this community? Yeah, we do the same. They do the same. That's the way it works. And it works to the benefit of both of all of the above. So good riddance for this vessel out there. And it was a narcotics terrorist operation, narco-terrorists, as they call them.
Oh.
And I am perfectly happy with the military blowing the terrorists out of the water, even if it's without other provocation. If it's a terrorist organization, if we've declared it a terrorist organization, which the cartels have been, kaboom. Did you see where Mexico is sending help and supplies and stuff to Cuba because we have pretty well shut them out? Mexico's got stuff to send to Cuba. Well, okay. Go for it, Mexico. We're not going to help you. Maybe we should just put these people, these guys that we're intercepting at the border, put them on their rafts and let them go back to Cuba that way.
Yeah, there was a time when that used to happen.
No. Sometimes they made it. Sometimes they didn't.
Chris Miller posted this on X. I have to stop you right there. This is local. And if you're listening, Chris, call in. But Pamlico County Schools has confirmed that the Pamlico County boys varsity basketball team will forfeit its final 4 games of the season following an incident during a recent away games. According to a statement from the school district, the forfeiture stemmed from an incident involving a player and a coach that occurred during a game against Lejeune High School on January 27th. Yeah, I want to hear about this, Chris.
All right, Chris.
What is the scoop?
Spill your guts, Chris.
Good morning, my friends. How's everybody doing this morning?
Okay.
Good.
So let me just throw this from basically what she said. So because of a spat between a player and a coach, that's what you said.
No.
The school is out, right?
I said following an incident involving a coach and a player.
Well, a
Yeah,
Tell us
coach
about
and a player.
I had heard small details here and there about that last week, but yeah, apparently it was a Pamlico at Lejeune game, and there was a altercation, and so they decided to just forfeit the rest of their games, just because it probably doesn't really make sense to continue the season when your coach and maybe player or players are in so hot water. So go ahead and let the cool heads prevail, and let the tensions lower, and then see if you can make. Hopefully this is a learning lesson, and these individuals can become better human beings because of it.
Wow.
Okay, well, I'm still. Let me go back to it now. Did this involve a coach and a player, or did it involve
Well, that's what
more than one person, more than two people?
Yeah, it was. It seems to be the coach and the player. I don't know a lot about it. Like I said, I did hear, and of course, I understand the school system, Craven County,
Confidentiality.
they don't want to because it is personnel and everything. So they are prohibited by law not to disclose certain information. So we get that, but yeah, it was apparently it was a coach and a player that kind of just had a situation. We'll put it that way.
Chris, says Camp Lejeune police were involved.
Chris, let me ask you this: was there a finals? And I'm not being smart aleck about this, but was the game completed?
I think it was during the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I can look at this and see what the final score was. I know the June boys basketball team has been playing well, so I can see what that final score was. If y'all just bear with me for 1 second.
Sure. Right ahead.
That's why I was just curious.
It was January 27th, and Lejeune, the Devil Pups won 78-56.
I want to recount.
Yeah.
Wow. I just came across that on
22.
your X, and I'm like, what?
Well,
happened?
Now, but again, this did not involve a Lejeune player, right?
Well, apparently, I mean, we really kind of the information is kind of scattered, seeing that Lejeune's had to forfeit some games. So, and I don't know if that's a mistake or not. So that's something I'll definitely have to look into, and definitely I'll have to look into and see if we can figure something out.
Yeah, well, if it's a dispute between a coach and a player, or a referee and a player, or a referee and a coach, and you're going to punish everybody, which is what it sounded like when Lee first read it. But if it's just like, why would you punish everybody? But if it's going to be something that evolved or became more widespread than just a dispute between a coach and a referee, or a coach and a player, then I understand.
Like the Hornets and the Pistons yesterday?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. And, it is a shame. I mean, we're seeing more and more of this unsportsmanlike, behavior and, fights and things like that. And it really is unfortunate. And I think a lot of it does start in the stands with the fans and the parents. And, these, I've said this before. I wish parents would, we all get frustrated over the officiating. No one's perfect, and we all get annoyed and roll our eyes and get frustrated over a bad call and everything. But I don't understand what prompts an adult to talk the way they do with another adult, referee. And I mean, you wouldn't do that, at Walmart. You wouldn't. I mean, you shouldn't do it out in society. What makes you think you're able to call a referee, this name or that name, so on and so forth? So, I think it starts from the stands, and then it starts with the bleachers, and then it kind of translates onto the court, because the kids are like, oh, if my parents are fussing out in jaw jacking, then maybe I can do it too. And then it just escalates, and it's a domino effect, and one thing leads to another, and then we have a big brouhaha.
There's a new word I haven't heard in a long, long time from you. Jaw jacking.
What's that?
Jaw jacking. Jaw jacking.
Or I like to call it chirping. When the and again, when you're in a game, and then it's I can understand a little bit of the chirping, the hey, I got you on this play, and things like that. That's competitive, and that's what the referees are for, to make sure it doesn't go. Look, if it's friendly competition and it's friendly rivalry, we can we can have fun with that, but let's not have it cross the line and get where it gets really serious.
Yeah. And up in the stands, the group that we're with, we don't have a lot of good fun up there, and it's not that other than stealing the referee's flag, which I only did it once, just once. I gave it back to him. Well, maybe twice, but they got them back, and they found out they have spares, so it didn't help. But other than that, we have fun. I think most of the people around us have fun. There may be one or two that get really excited from time to time, and but this, to be absolutely honest with you, taking it out on the refs, you're wrong, because 99.99 times out of 100, and most stats are made up on the spot, but I will say 99.99 times out of 100, the referee is right.
Yeah.
They've made the best call, and they've got backup to prove that they made the best call. And on that rare occasion, I've also seen, I think this past season, once they discussed it on the field, when one referee said this and two more said, no, that's not exactly the way it went down, then they did not have a penalty. They recalled their penalty. So I've seen that happen too. So they do correct things if they obviously make a mistake.
Well, Rayford, I'm going to record this conversation where you compliment the referees, and I'm going to play it back during the high school football season next fall.
I knew that was coming.
I'm bringing my own PA system. Actually, I don't have to, because I've hijacked yours now. I know how to get into yours. And you don't have control over it except pulling the plug.
Hey, Chris, I sent a message to Lee earlier, but y'all were talking about the. First of all, thank you so much for your help last week.
Oh, you're welcome.
I really appreciate
my
it.
pleasure.
And, I'm sorry that I couldn't run that one quote that Mrs. Marks gave me, where she said, "I hate this snow because I'm stuck in the same house with this man." And,
well, you didn't run it, but now you've just run it. What do you?
Right.
Thanks, Chris.
Your Honor, I didn't say it because I didn't want anybody to know it, but here's what happened. Well, geez.
I think that is probably 20 years of payback for you recognizing Chris at games.
Oh, my.
Right.
All right, Chris. Thank you, sir.
Hey, but one thing, y'all, we're talking about the national anthem, and and do you remember the one that Carl Lewis sang, Chris? Do you remember the one
he sent that
he
me.
sang and made the ESPN announcers laugh?
I don't remember that one, but one did come back that
I'm gonna play it for him when we go off.
Yeah. I sent Lee a video where they Carl Lewis, the Olympic track star, sang a national anthem before a Bulls game. This was probably 40 some years ago, and the ESPN guys back when ESPN was good would showed a clip of it, and then it's the famous Star Spangled Banner written by Francis Scott Off-Key.
Well,
Francis Scott Off-Key.
Robert mentioned Fergie doing was one of the worst.
It was Yvonne.
Fergie at an NBA All-Star game.
She did it at the Super Bowl.
I've heard a lot of off-key national anthems that were not intentionally off-key, but that's because the people can't sing. And we see that a lot of times at a local ball game here. It's really cute to get the kids out there.
Yeah.
And it's very rare that when you get a kid out there that it is like, holy moly, that's what's remembering because it was that good. But you got to give them credit. The 4, 5, 6, 8-year-old kids that get out there, and they give it their all, and it's really good for a 6, 7, 8, 10-year-old kid getting out there doing it. I applaud them for it, and I will applaud them as hard as I would Whitney Houston for getting out there doing it. Because they are special, and they're doing everything they can. And just wait and see what comes out of them when they when they're fully trained.
Hey, Mr. Marks,
yes.
Lee and I also established. I know I'm beating you up this morning.
That's okay.
Me and Lee have established that we finally found out where all your skirts are. They're all with all your maids that you interacted with back in the day.
I've got questions.
Hopefully Chris has answers.
What's this all about?
The shirts and the maids.
Remember earlier this morning, Chris was talking about interacting with maids when he was at working for the cable company, and so
having to go to people's houses.
And you called her down into the basement to help you with a couple of dogs.
What? Oh, this
so
is
that's
all
where
good.
Chris is getting all his skirts from. Is from all the maids that he knows.
Oh, this one's going to the dogs in a hurry.
Oh, Chris.
I'm really going to get you in trouble, aren't I?
No.
It won't be the first time.
We'll see if my seat's filled tomorrow.
But here's your problem, Chris. You know that big old PA system up there at Jacksonville High Cardinal Stadium?
Yeah.
It's only got a mic that goes one way.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey.
I can hear Mr. Marks now. Chris Miller taking his nose at the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
Yes, buddy.
I will say this. I love you, Chris. I really do.
I'll never forget that last side eye you
I
gave
love
him.
you to death, Chris, is what he's saying. I love you to death. Sooner than later, Chris.
Oh, don't talk about that.
Oh, no.
He'll put a big squeeze on you.
Chris is a
Oh,
special.
no, I can hear Mr. Marks now. Chris Miller standing at the 40-yard line with his nice shorts on.
Hey, Chris, get off the ball field before we get penalized. All right, whether you're on there or not, I could just hear it. Everybody will think you were. I'm giving him ideas, Chris. I better hush.
Anyway.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. Thanks so much. Beat up our good friend Chris Marks.
All right. Thanks for calling the back. Yeah. I'm glad he called in to straighten that out. I mean, I was
I'm not
reading
sure
it.
it's straightened out.
He had posted it on X. Well, they said that they can't give out a lot of information because of confidentiality.
Well, let's find a player.
I don't know. I want to know.
One of those players will tell me this.
I want to know the smut.
Yeah.
I want to know who did what. Don't you?
We can know. All you got to do is pay one of those kids, some lunch money or something.
Buy him an ice cream. Remember when ice cream used to be like a nickel when you were in school?
Nutty Buddies.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Where are they now? $2 for a little
Probably
4-ounce bar of ice cream.
You know what? Starting Clyder went. I don't know why I can remember this.
Yeah. Thompson Elementary.
Lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. You took 2 dimes in.
Mm-hmm.
It was 20 cents.
Yes.
20 cents for lunch per day.
Right.
Yeah. Somerset Elementary for me.
Yeah. I went to
You
Somerset
pay
the
a
first
dollar
year
a
it
week.
opened.
And then if you happen to be absent because they had to carry it over to the next week, so you didn't owe $1 to the next week, you owe it 80 cents. It was weird.
And you could buy an ice cream every day for the
Yes, you
afternoon.
could.
For a nickel.
Yeah. And it was always so much fun waiting for that ice
I
cream.
love those big Cheerios, the vanilla, but you better be eating in a hurry because that chocolate's going to start melting and come down, and in sheets it will come down.
I went to Somerset School the first year it opened. I was at Thompson. They opened Somerset. So my 6th grade, I went to Somerset back in the day. Anyway.
So when I started driving a school bus, I never ate lunch at school because I had 2 routes in the afternoon.
You didn't go home and leave the kids on the school bus while you went inside and ate, did you?
No, I did better than that. I took, I headed over to Jacksonville Junior High.
Right.
And I would always, there was a study hall first. So I just leave, forget study hall. Right? A bus driver got to go, you got it. And didn't stay for study hall. I hauled butt over to Jacksonville Junior High, parked my bus, go over to Buck's Cafe, and I got myself a hamburger.
Talking about that.
A hamburger right then and there.
Cafe.
Walk in the door, they knew I was like being at Cheers. Everybody knew my name and knew what I was going to order. That was cool.
So you know what? Now I understand that the Thailand Marine is closing.
Yep.
Do we know what's going in that building next?
At Thailand,
Yes.
at marinas, it's called Crumpler's Marina.
Oh, because I was going to say, it'd be nice to put a little restaurant in. There were some tables on the waterfront. You can still do that, Crumpler.
Mr. Crumpler to you.
Mr. Crumpler.
His first name is Joshua.
Joshua.
Yeah.
Who is this Joshua Crumpler?
Okay.
We need to investigate.
You're live and local Real Talk. Uh-oh.
Good.
Just popped up here from Alex. I'm embarrassed, but I take responsibility since his surgery. The calendar has been very fluid. I apologize for not getting back to you last night. Dr. Murphy he's still recovering and stuff like that. So that's from his handler and schedule.
handler.
Good guy.
So anyway, Alex we'll find out. I'll let you know when Dr. Murphy, Congressman
Right.
Greg Murphy will be on
Wait, I
as
have
soon as
Alex.
we get about him. But he just 9:03, so it just popped hot off the presses, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Feel
Okay,
better.
we will see y'all tomorrow morning. Chris, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a blast, especially Chris. Last few minutes.
Yes, it has. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we
Life
will.
would be boring without Chris Marks and Chris Miller.
We are live. We are local. We are here. We are woke. No, we're not. We're awake and we're not woke. And we'll see you in the morning. Goodbye.
Have a blessed day.